Hello students, let us come to the third lecture of measurement of impedance. Okay, uh, in this we will be seeing the AC bridges. अब तक हम लोगों ने DC bridges देखे जिसमें Wheatstone bridge था, Calvin's bridge था, Calvin's double bridge था. Now let us consider the AC bridges in which we will be measuring inductance, capacitance, frequency. Okay, using a bridge you can use this for the measurement of frequency also. Okay, let us see. AC bridge, इसकी जो बैलेंस कंडीशन है उसको बिल्कुल वैसे ही निकालते हैं जैसे कि हम लोग DC Wheatstone bridge के लिए निकालते थे. All the four are considered as impedance, ठीक है, और frequency dependent components होंगे सारे के सारे, ठीक है. Normally they will be having C or H. Okay, the detector is an AC responding device. Normally headphones होते हैं या फिर AC एमोमीटर होता है. प्रैक्टिकली ज़्यादातर हम लोग हेडफोन्स यूज़ करते हैं ना. प्रैक्टिकली जो उसको अनबैलेंस कंडीशन होती है तो वहाँ पर हमिंग साउंड सुनाई देती है, और बैलेंस कंडीशन होती है तो देयर इज अ नो साउंड एट द हेडफोन. एंड ऐसा AC एमोमीटर से आप AC करंट मेजर कर सकते हैं अंडर द बैलेंस एंड अनबैलेंस कंडीशन. नाउ सोर्स यहाँ पर एक AC वोल्टेज एट अ डिसाइड फ्रिक्वेंसी होगा. Okay, now let Z1, Z2, Z3 and Z4 are the impedance of the bridge arms at balance. EBA is equal to EBC. That means I1 Z1 equals to I2 Z2 होगा, ठीक है. और यहाँ पर जो करंट I1 होगा वो सिंपली अगर आप इसमें करंट डिवीजन रूल लगाएं तो इट विल बी voltage upon applied voltage upon Z1 plus Z3. Similarly आप I2 कह सकते हैं that is voltage upon Z2 plus Z4. If you substitute these values in the above equation and finally equate them, you will be getting Z4 equals to Z2 Z3, ठीक है. ये कॉम्प्लेक्स फॉर्म में आपको मिल जाएगा. If you convert it into the polar form, you will be getting Z1 Z4 in the bracket angle theta 1 plus theta 4 equals to Z2 Z3 in the bracket angle theta 2 plus angle theta 3. That means overall आपकी दो बैलेंस कंडीशन निकल के आएगी AC ब्रिजेस में. एक तो मैग्नीट्यूड बैलेंस होगा जो कि कहता है कि सिंपली मैग्नीट्यूड का प्रोडक्ट Z1 Z4 इक्वल्स टू Z2 Z3 होगा. और दूसरा बैलेंस कंडीशन निकल के आएगी दैट विल बी द phase balance condition which gives you that angle theta 1 plus angle theta 4 is equal to angle theta 2 plus angle theta 3. Okay, so this is the general balance condition of any AC bridge. Okay, irrespective पहले जो हम लोग DC bridges देखे थे वहाँ पर सिर्फ मैग्नीट्यूड था, तो वहाँ मैग्नीट्यूड का बैलेंस कंडीशन आता था. वहाँ पर हम लोग R1 R4 is equal to R2 R3 कहते थे, ठीक है. यहाँ पर आप इसको कहते थे R1 by R2 is equal to R3 by R4. यहाँ पर वही बैलेंस कंडीशन मैग्नीट्यूड की वही है. यहाँ पर R1 R की जगह पर Z1 Z हो गया, ठीक है. Z1 Z4 is equal to Z2 Z3 हो गया. That means you can also say that Z1 by Z2 is equal to Z3 by Z4. इसके अलावा एक फेज बैलेंस कंडीशन इसमें ऐड ऑन हो गई है. that is saying that it is angle theta 1 plus angle theta 4 equals to angle theta 2 plus angle theta 3. This is the general balance condition of any AC bridge. Let us implement it to a numerical. The impedance of the basic AC bridge are given as follows. यहाँ पर आपको Z1 की वैल्यू दे रखी है that is 100 ohm, angle 80 degree, which is an inductive impedance. Z2 is 250 ohm, that is pure resistance. Z3 is 400 angle 30 degree, inductive impedance, and Z4 is unknown. You have to determine the unknown की वैल्यू निकालनी है आपको. Let us see. Simply पहले तो मैग्नीट्यूड निकाल लेंगे. Z4 will be simply Z2 Z3 upon Z1. तो 250 into 400 by 100, which will be giving you 1000 ohm. Now applying the phase balance condition, तो एंगल थीटा 4 सिंपली क्या होगा, एंगल थीटा 2 प्लस एंगल थीटा 3 माइनस थीटा 1। अब थीटा 2 आपका यहाँ पर एक प्योर रेजिस्टेंस है, दैट मीन्स द फेज एंगल इज 0, ओके। और थीटा 3 is your inductive, therefore it will be plus 30, and Z1 is capacitive, then the angle 80 will be minused, okay, क्योंकि जो फेज इंडक्टर का होता है वो पॉजिटिव फेज रहता है, ऑलवेज इट्स लीड्स, एंड Z1 का जो होता है वो ऑलवेज लैग में होता है, तो उसको माइनस करते हैं। तो आफ्टर कैलकुलेशन दैट एंगल थीटा 4 विल बी -50, then you are getting the impedance Z4 which is equal to 1000 ohm angle -50 degree. That means this is an capacitive impedance, okay. That means जो भी आपका यह impedance लगा है that is a capacitor, okay. Indicate that we are dealing with a capacitive element possibly consisting of a series combination of resistor and a capacitor. ओके, हेलो, नेक्स्ट न्यूमेरिकल देखते हैं। ओके, एंड AC bridge is in balance with the following constants. Arm AB equals to R equals to 200 ohm in series with the L 15.9 millihenry. Okay, arm BC is equal to R equals to 300 ohm in series with C, that is equal to 0.265 microfarad. Arm CD unknown, arm DA is 450 ohm. The oscillator frequency is 1 kilohertz. Find the constant of arm CD. This is the required figure. Okay, तो हमारे पास Z4 नहीं है, बाकी सारी वैल्यूज हैं, Z2, Z3, Z1. Okay, let us solve it. Okay, sorry for the delay. Now simply Z2 की वैल्यू यहाँ पर 450 है, ओके, इनटू Z3 इज 200 प्लस J100, ओके। यहाँ पर हम लोगों ने Z3 इज नथिंग बट Z2 इज R1 प्लस 1 by J omega C, and J omega C is being calculated as 600 ohm. C is your 0.265 microfarad, and omega की वैल्यू आप 2 pi f रख दें और f की वैल्यू 1 किलोहर्ट्ज ले, pi 3.14, एंड फाइनली कैलकुलेट करेंगे तो जो उसका इम्पिडेंस आएगा, रिएक्टिव कैपेसिटिव इम्पिडेंस आएगा, दैट इज 600J, -600J, ओके। एंड सिमिलरली फॉर Z1 इट इज विल बी J omega L, अगेन वहाँ पर आप ओमेगा की वैल्यू 2 pi f, L की वैल्यू यहाँ पर आपके पास गिवन है 15.9 मिली हेनरी, तो वो कैलकुलेट होकर 100 ओम आएगा, ठीक है। तो Z1 Z3 करना है, ठीक है। Z1 इज R प्लस J omega L, दैट इज 200 प्लस J100 इंटू 450 अपॉन 300 माइनस 600J, तो फाइनली कैलकुलेट हो गया था J इज इक्वल टू 150, ओके। तो ये आपको शो कर रहा है कि इट इज़ अ इंडक्टिव कैपेसिटेंस रिएक्टेंस ऑफ 150 ओम एट अ फ्रीक्वेंसी 1 किलोहर्ट्ज। इससे अगर आप इंडक्टर की वैल्यू निकालेंगे सॉल्व करके, XL इज इक्वल टू 2 pi FL, तो L की वैल्यू आपकी 23.9 मिली हेनरी निकल के आएगी। तो दिस इज हाउ वी विल कैलकुलेट। Now let us move toward the first bridge, that is known as Maxwell's bridge. Maxwell bridge में आप जो कंस्ट्रक्शन सामने देख रहे हैं, it is having a AC source, and there is a, for Z1 it is R1 parallel with C1 where R1 is variable, R2 Z2 की जगह पे आपका R2 है, Z3 की तरह एक वेरिएबल R3 है, और जो आपका अननोन है जिसको आप Z4 कहते हैं या ZX कहते हैं, दैट इज हियर इट इज इंडक्टिव इन नेचर, तो दैट इज देन इट विल बी LX विद पैरेलल विद RX, तो यहाँ पर अननोन इंडक्टेंस को मेजर करने के लिए मैक्सवेल ब्रिज यूज करते हैं, ठीक है। तो सिंपली ZX विल बी, हालांकि अगर आप सिंपल बैलेंस कंडीशन इम्पोज करें तो इट विल बी Z1 ZX इक्वल्स टू Z2 Z3, ओके। अब Z1 को इफ यू आर मूविंग इट टू द राइट हैंड साइड, it will be 1 by Z1 which can be written as Y1. Now let us calculate the different impedances. Z2 will be simply R2, Z3 is R3, और जो Y1 है, ठीक है, that is admittance. Admittance simply parallel में admittance add होते हैं, ठीक है। तो admittance for R1 will be 1 by R1 and admittance for capacitance will be j omega C1. So Y1 will be simply 1 by R1 plus j omega C1. Now simply if we substitute these values in the above equation, to ZX which is equal to Rx plus j omega Lx, okay, which is equal to R2 R3 into 1 upon R1 plus j omega C1. If you compare the real and imaginary part, you will be finding that Rx will be equal to R2 R3 by R1 and the Lx will be equal to R2 R3 C1, okay. One of the most important thing in this is that this Maxwell bridge is totally frequency independent, ठीक है। आप देख सकते हैं कि जो अननोन आपने कैलकुलेट किया है उस इक्वेशन में कहीं भी ओमेगा नहीं आया, तो आप किसी भी फ्रीक्वेंसी का सोर्स लगा के इसको यूज कर सकते हैं। सुटेबल फॉर लो क्वालिटी फैक्टर, लो Q की वैल्यू के L के लिए क्या ये ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिकल है। इम्प्रैक्टिकल फॉर हाई Q वैल्यू, इफ़ यू आर टेकिंग हाई Q वैल्यू फॉर L, तो उस केस में आप देखेंगे कि R1 विल बी वेरी लार्ज, R1 की वैल्यू बहुत हाई हो जाएगी इफ़ यू आर टेकिंग हाई Q वैल्यू। तो नॉर्मली ये क्वालिटी फैक्टर फॉर 1 to 10 जो इंडक्टर्स होते हैं उनके लिए यूज़ करते हैं हम लोग मैक्सवेल ब्रिज। For high Q value, we use a second bridge, which is known as Hayes bridge. Hayes bridge is again for measuring the unknown inductance. Okay. The next Hayes bridge, ये almost Maxwell bridge की तरह ही है। वहाँ पर जो R1 and C1 parallel में था, यहाँ R1 and C1 are in series, ठीक है। Now we apply a balance condition over here, तो यहाँ पर जो बैलेंस कंडीशन निकल के आएगी that will be Z1 Z4 equals to Z2 Z3. Z1 जो है that will be simply R1 in parallel with capacitance, which will उसका जो impedance होगा that is reactance होगा that is j omega by C1, Z2 का R2, Z3 का R3, and you have to finally calculate the unknown impedance of a inductor. Now substituting these values in the equation above in the balance condition, you will be seeing that R1 plus 1 by j omega C1 in the bracket into Rx plus j omega Lx equals to R2 R3. Now expanding on both the side, we will be getting R1 Rx plus L2 by C1, sorry, Lx by C1 minus j Rx by omega C1 plus j omega Lx R1 equals to R2 R3. Now again comparing the real and imaginary parts, you will be finally getting the expressions R1 Rx plus Lx by C1 equals to R2 R3, and another equation will be Rx by omega C1 equals to omega Lx R1. Now here we have two unknowns, that is Lx and Rx, and two equations. That means you have to solve this two simultaneous equations, which will be giving you the value of Rx as above. Rx equals to omega square C1 square R1 R2 R3 upon 1 plus omega square C1 square R1 square, and Lx can be written as R2 R3 C1 upon 1 plus omega square C1 square R1 square. Okay, now here you see compared to Maxwell bridge, This bridge is the unknown which we are calculating from here is totally dependent on the frequency of the source. Okay, there is a omega term over there which shows that this particular bridge is totally dependent upon the frequency of the source applied. Now here let us make this equation for you by in the form of quality factor. Now if you want to see that tan theta L is nothing but XL by R, which is omega Lx by Rx, which is again the quality factor of the inductance used over here as an unknown. Similarly, tan theta C, which is Xc by R, which is the which is giving you 1 by omega C1 R1 is again the quality factor of the capacitors in the balanced arm. If you equate this both, and you will getting Q is equal to 1 upon omega C1 R1. As a balance condition, both the quality factors should be equal. Okay, that means tan theta L should be equal to tan theta C. So in that case, Q will be equal to 1 by omega C1 R1. Now if we use this relationship and substitute this in the above equation for the unknown, that for Lx, which is equal to R2 R3 C1 upon 1 plus omega square C1 square R1 square, in the place of omega square C1 square R1 square, we can replace it by 1 by Q square, as Q is nothing but 1 upon omega C1 R1. You will be getting, we can say from this equation that Lx is equal to R2 R3 C1 upon 1 plus 1 by Q square. Now, as soon as you are taking the higher value of Q's more than 10, the term 1 by Q can be neglected, and finally you will be getting Lx is equal to R2 R3 C1 approximately. That this equation shows that the Hayes bridge is used for those unknown inductance which is having higher quality factor, where in compared to the Maxwell one. In the Maxwell case, we need a lower Q values. This is the basic difference between Maxwell and Hayes bridge. When we have to calculate the unknown inductance for a low Q value, we will be using the Maxwell bridge. If we are using the inductance of high Q value, we will be considering Hayes bridge. Okay. Now the next bridge is sharing bridge. This bridge is used to measure the unknown capacitance. You can see from the figure that the sources of AC voltage source and the Z1 impedance is the combination of R1 and C1 in parallel, where in this case the C1 is taken as variable capacitor. Now on the impedance Z2, which is nothing but variable art resistance, and the impedance Z3 is C3. Now the unknown impedances here is the capacitance in series with Rx. Sorry. Okay. So as it is explained that used extensively for the measurement of capacitance and the quality of capacitor in the term of D. Okay, now if again I consider the balance condition, we will be seeing that Z1 Zx is equal to Z2 Z3. Now if I again take the Z1 part on the right hand side, it will be converted into Y1. Then the Zx equal to Z2 Z3 Y1. Now let us see what the Z2 and Z3 is and Y1 are. Z2 is equal to R2. Z3 is the capacitance case, and then it will be 1 by j omega C3, and finally the R1, which is given as admittance. R1 and C1 combination are given as admittance. Y1 will be equal to 1 by R1 plus j omega C1, as in the case of admittance the in the parallel combination, we simply add the admittance of the two parallel quantities. Okay, now Irx. So, if we are going to equate the above equation by substituting the values of Z2, Z3 and Y1, you will be getting Rx minus j omega Cx, which is equal to R2, it is as Z2, and Z3 will be minus j by omega Cx, and Y1 will be 1 by R1 plus j omega C1. Now, if you expand and the right hand side, you will be getting R2 C1 by C3 minus j R2 by omega C3 R1. Again, comparing the real and imaginary part, you will be getting Rx is equal to R2 C1 by C3 and Cx is equal to C3 R1 by R2. In the same, this is one of the simplest bridge which is used for measuring the unknown capacitance, a shearing bridge. Now let us move to the next one. Okay, you can also calculate the dissipation factor of the capacitor using this, and dissipation factor is nothing but Rx by Xx, which is nothing but omega Rx Cx. Okay, so for shearing bridge it will be omega R2 Rx Cx will be nothing but omega R1 C1. Okay, so after balancing using the variable resistance and capacitor, after balancing, if whatever the value you get for R1 and C1, using that you can also calculate a dissipation factor of the capacitor. Actually, the dissipation factor is the important parameter for capacitor which tells us about the quality of the capacitor. How close the phase angle of the capacitor is to the ideal value of 90 degree. This is basically given by the dissipation factor. So in some cases, we also require to calculate know the dissipation factor of the unknown capacitance. So we can use the shearing bridge for that. Okay. Now let us move to the last bridge in the AC bridge, where there are several other bridges, but these four bridges are very, very important. And the final one, that is the Wien bridge, which is used to measure the unknown frequency of the source. Here you have all the impedances which are known to you. You have to, by varying the R3, R1, you have to make it balance and finally calculate the frequency of the voltage source. Okay, here the impedance Z1 is nothing but a series combination of R1 and C1, and the impedance Z2 is R2, and the impedance Z4 is R4, and impedance Z3 is the parallel combination of R3 and C3, where here in the figure R1 and R2 are variable. Okay, as explained there, that the measured frequency of the voltage source using series RC in one arm and the parallel RC in the adjoining arm. Now again, using the standard AC bridge balance condition, which says that Z2 equals to Z1 Z4 into Y3. Okay, now Z1 is nothing but R1 plus j omega C1, as shown as there is a series combination of R1 and C1. Z2 is simply R2. Y3 is simply, for the parallel combination, the admittance will be the addition of the admittance in the parallel branches, that is 1 by R3 plus j omega C3 plus Z4, which is equal to, and Z4 which is equal to R4. Now simply substituting these all values in the above equation in the balance condition, which gives you R2 equals to R1 minus j omega C1, that is for Z1. Okay, and I think there is a misprint in the above line, that it should be R1 minus j omega C1, because for the capacitance the reactance is in the negative form. Okay, R1 minus j omega C1 into R4 into 1 plus R3 plus j omega C3. Okay, now again simply multiplying the entire right hand side and expanding it, you will be getting R2 equals to R1 R4 R3 plus j omega C3 R1 R4 minus j R4 upon omega C1 R3 plus R4 C3 upon C1. And comparing again the real and imaginary part, you will be getting the two equations which are as given in the screen, that is R2 by R4 equals to R1 by R3 plus C3 by C1. And the another equation is omega C3 R1, which is equal to 1 by omega C1 R3. Now, using the second equation, if you use the second equation and take the omega on one side and the rest of the constant on the one side, you will be seeing that omega square will be equal to 1 upon R1 R3 C1 C3. If you put at the place of omega 2 pi f and calculate, you will be getting f equals to 1 upon 2 pi under root C1 C3 R1 R3. This is how you will be calculating the frequency of the unknown voltage source. If you consider R1 equals to R3 and C1 equals to C3, if you design in such a way that R1 and R3 are the same and C1 and C3 are the same, then this equation reduces f equals to 1 upon 2 pi RC. In this way, you can calculate the frequency of an unknown voltage source. Let us do some numericals on these base bridges. Here a simple question is given to you. Maxwell bridge is used to measure inductive impedance. The bridge constants are at the balance are C1 equals to 0.01 microfarad, R1 equals to 470 kilo ohm, R2 is equal to 5.1 kilo ohm, and R3 equals to 100 kilo ohm. Find the series equivalent of the unknown impedance for the case of Maxwell bridge. Okay. Let us calculate by simply using the formula of Maxwell bridge, where Rs is nothing but R2 R3 by R1, simply putting the value of R2, which is 100 kilo ohm, R3 is 5.1 kilo ohm upon R1, which is 470 kilo ohm. After calculation, you will be getting 1.09 kilo ohm. Lx is nothing but R2 R3 into C1. Okay. Simply put the values of R2 by 3 is 5.1, R3 is equal to 100 kilo ohm, and C1 is 0.01 microfarad. After calculating, you will be getting 5.1 Henry. Okay, though you can have the unknown as shown in figure, Rs equal to 1.09 and Lx is equal to 5.1 Henry. This is a simple one of the simplest question, and let us move to the next. Find the series equivalent inductance and resistance of the network that causes an opposite angle Hayes bridge. The question is regarding Hayes bridge to suit with the following bridge arms. Okay, here he's saying to refer the figure of Hayes bridge. Omega is 3000 radians per second, R2 is 10 kilo ohm, R1 is 2 kilo ohm, C1 is 1 microfarad, and R3 is 1 kilo ohm. Let us again use the fundamental formula of Rx, which is nothing but omega square R1 R2 R3 C1 square upon 1 plus omega square R1 square C1 square. Simply substituting the values of omega is 3000, just 3000 square, R1 10, R2 2, R3 1, C1 is 1 microfarad. Putting 1 into 10 to the power minus 6 simply in the denominator part. After calculating, you will be getting 4.86 kilo ohm. Simply for the in the same way for the Lx, R2 R3 C1 upon 1 plus omega square R1 C1 square, which simply gives you the value for Lx. Now substituting all the values as per the question given above, which is saying that R2 is 10, R3 is 1, C1 is 1 microfarad, 1 plus omega square, omega is 3000 cos square, and R1 is 2 again, C1 is 1 10 to the power minus 6 cos square. Substituting after calculation, you will be getting 270 millihenry. Therefore, Rx is 4.86 kilo ohm and Rx is 270 millihenry. Okay, this was again a simple formula-based question. Simply you are having the constant values, and you have to simply put in the equation of unknown resistance and unknown Lx, and you will be getting the answer. Let us move to the second question. Next question, which an AC which is given to you, the following constant. You have arm AB, AD, BC, CD, capacitor of 0. microfarad in parallel with 1 kilo ohm, resistor of 2 kilo ohm, capacitor of 0.5 microfarad, and CD is our unknown capacitance. This is again, I think it's the question are showing regarding shearing bridge. This is the question regarding shearing bridge. If you simply you have to use the shearing bridge figure, and you're using the relationship for the shearing bridge, which gives you Rs is equal to nothing but C1 by C through RT, R2, which is 0.5 in by 0.5 into 2, which is give you 2 kilo ohm, and Cx R1 R2 into C3 1 by 2 into 0.5, which will give you 0.25. Okay, you will be using the figure which is in the shearing bridge. You have to show the सेम आप जो आर्म ए बी यहाँ लिखा हुआ है, जो हम लोगों ने शेयरिंग ब्रिज पढ़ा था, उसमें जो आर्म ए बी है वहाँ से रिलेट कर रहा है. ठीक है, तो वहाँ आर्म ए बी जो था, दैट वाज सीरीज कॉम्बिनेशन, दैट इज वाज सिंपली द Z1. ओके, दैट वाज C1 प्लस R1 इन सीरीज, C1 एंड R1 इन पैरेलल. ओके, तो वही सब जो आपने फिगर में देखा था, उसी फॉर्मूला यूज करके फाइनली we have calculated Rs and Cx. The dissipation factor is given by omega x Cx Rx. Simply हम लोगों ने Cx Rx कैलकुलेट कर लिया है, यहाँ पर उसको सब्स्टिट्यूट करें, तो फाइनली the dissipation factor will be coming to 3. Okay, with this we have seen the AC bridges from which we can calculate different impedances. Now in the next lecture we will be seeing the ohm meters which are left, जो शुरू में हम लोगों ने छोड़ दिया था, और नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में कंप्लीट करते हैं ohm meter to measure the resistance by using metering. We will be seeing in the next lecture. Have a nice day. Enjoy.